I should be live now. We should be live on air. It feels like I'm doing this for the first time. It's summertime again. It's freaking hot and my brain is not working properly. Is there anybody out there receiving this message? There's an SOS from OTHMARiUS. I should be live. I should be live. Am I live? Can you hear me? Okay, something's wrong here. I don't think I'm live already. Oh, I'm live. I guess I'm live now. It's nice. Okay. It's crazy what's happening here right now, guys. I'll be with you just in a second. It's just crazy. Again. Like always. Okay, I'm back in control. Got 7 folks watching right now. That's great, guys. I'll be there. Here we go. OTHMARiUS Magic. Like and subscribe. Hey there, my beloved nerds. My beloved subscribers. My beloved OTHMANIACs. What's up, everybody? My name is OTHMARiUS. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to yet another Card Magic live session. Welcome back to the card table with Expert Card Technique by Hugard and Braue, which we are walking through this year every second Tuesday live on air, which is freaking amazing, and I'm excited you guys are tuning in again. And today we are going on a discovery. Yes, we're going to discover some fine stunts, some fine feats, some fine slides in card magic. And as usual, I try to make this as productive, as useful for all of you guys, no matter what your skill level is, no matter what you're up to with magic, if you're aiming to become the next David Copperfield, or if you just want to learn some tricks. Today, we're going to discover some really nice sleight of hand techniques. I will show you in connection or in remembering the last session on top changes, on card changes. A little routine might come in handy for you guys. And then we're going to look at one of a really beautiful card magic feat, a classic in magic, a beautiful trick, which when I first heard about it, was super excited about. And I said I'd come back to it later when I know the slides. And it took me quite a while to come back to it, which I do today, and I'm really, really excited about it. So, let's see who's in the house. We got Aaron J saying, really enjoy these live streams. Awesome, Aaron, you tuning in. And we got Wit van Wit. It's time again for more magical stuff. Hey, Wit van Wit. Wit van Wit, you are today giving us the meme of the session. Yes, check this out.
Apply some pressure.
Because you've shared a... Wait, I got to turn the music down on my headphones here again because it's too loud, way too loud. It's time again for more magical stuff. Hey, what the hell? Shut up. That was me. Okay, the music is much too loud on my headphones here. Okay, turn this down. So you shared on our Discord server a little performance, right? Where is it? Where's the Discord server? Wait, what am I doing here? There we go. Down here, you are with the little performance, right? Thank you so much for sharing this, guys, and I really enjoy all of you being so active on our Discord channel. And by the way, I'm super sorry if I'm not all into it so much because time is a freaking rare resource in my life, and I just couldn't make it. can't really be everywhere at the same time, right? By the way, I went on a little holiday trip last week, visiting my parents in their hometown, and in my hometown also, where I was born and raised. It was a great week, very lovely. So I'm in delay with basically everything, and it's going to be kind of a confusing session, but it doesn't matter because you guys got your cards out and you're going to practice while I'm kind of figuring out how we do this tonight. And yes, so first of all, thank you so much for this little performance you shared with us. I enjoyed those videos very much. Also gives me kind of a understanding where you're at. I am not going into detail what you did there here right now. Just one little thing, one positive criticism here. Check out the camera angle you're giving us. You're giving the audience there. You're filming almost like it's like I would be with my head. And with my head right there on a level of the table. That's very unnatural point of view, don't you think so? So just one thing, which is really the most important thing in magic, basically. We shall never forget the audience's perspective, their point of view, their reference point, also their mindset, their interest. We talked about it last session with when we talked about misdirection, right? How freaking important it is. And no matter what you do, how you perform, and even if it's just just a little performance for your magic buddies in the chat, we should always really reflect on what will the people see we are performing for, right? And from that angle, I will not get any magic, and I will not experience something that's going to get me anywhere, right? Because this is such an bad angle. It's really easy, just put your laptop up. Give it a little angle, and then put some light there. You can even use your mobile phone, your flashlight. You put it on another thing for the recording, something like this. Easy means no big deal, and just to reflect on that. This is one of the a big part of the work we have to do. In order to create illusions with playing cards, for example, is to really keep in mind and really to observe and think about what it is our audience is going to see, right? So just don't get this wrong. I love this, and I just took this meme out of there because the magical gesture, kind of pushing the ace through all the other cards to the bottom of the deck with your magical powers. This really made me laugh, and so you're going to be there with us today with this little meme, which I can't just turn on right now for whatever freaking reason. I prepared it so that it should be there. Let me see if I can pull it out here. What is going on? Why is this not working? There we go.
Apply some pressure.
So actually, this should be. When I hit spacebar, I should control this here, but it's not working. So I got to do this manually. Anyways. Yeah, you're just filming from your phone. It's just, I know, and sometimes it's not. That was just the first thought I had in my head. That this, when you show something like this, it shows that you don't care about what the audience is looking at. It's not a big deal or something, but I just thought this immediately. And by the way, working with the camera, you will realize, even if you use simple means, that this is kind of part of becomes part of the method automatically. So you're going to, what's the best angle? Wait a second, if I shoot it from this side and stuff. So, and I'm saying this on this channel all the time. Camera magic, or magic for television, or magic for YouTube, or magic that is recorded is a different talk, a completely different talk than magic for a live audience. Yeah. And even if you record a a set for a live set. Basically, you will find editing and camera work. No, not to create the effects necessarily, but just to make it interesting and to make it watchable from the on the screen. It's something. It's consuming. Or something on a screen is something else than consuming it in it actually live. And I'm losing my ability to speak here because it's so freaking hot. Anyway, I enjoyed your performance there, and you are with us here with the meme today. So I'm out of control. Want to go back here to we're a very tiny group here today. This is great, because I'm going to show you some crazy stuff here. This is a beautiful chapter, the chapter 8 from page 300 following. Let me just see here what's in the interface. We got card and shoe, just in classical magic, right? We all have seen this. Some of you might even have performed it. There's several ways doing it. We got Rub a Dub Dub, which is a card vanish. We got cards through the magazine, which is a nice little feed, which you can actually pretty easily integrate, build into your routine, and it's based on a technique which has been explained before in the book. I believe in the chapter on card changes. I practiced this one because this was very precious to me, or becomes very precious to me right away. I'm going to look at this one. I love this very much. Then we got a Mercury's card, the Mercury's Fold. You might heard about this one. It's a classic in Magic. It's one of those moves I've never learned. Maybe today I give it the first time, the first shot, the first try. It is something you don't, I say you don't need to master necessarily, but if you do, it just opens up. It opens the door for a variety of beautiful effects, And what is the last time I was considering going into this one was because of the glass box. It's I don't know what's the name of the magician. It's the Wizard product review. Those three guys. I forgot that. I didn't watch the show for a long time, and it's years ago now when I had this little glass box, and you could see the folded card in the glass box all the time during the performance, right? And at the end or at some point, you reveal the card. Really nice thing. And I was like, that's really great. But I would. That's why I would learn the Macri Fold 4, right? I don't know how difficult it is. And by the way, this chapter is kind of a little bit a mixture, a blend between giving us some card tricks, but also some slides basically. And as I said from the very beginning of this series, that this book is a very different build compared to Royal Road to Card Magic. This kind of a snapshot, a collection of the latest and hottest stuff around the 1940s, last century, by the best of the best. So we have those chapters like DiSCOVERiES, or what else here? Sundry Slides, or Miscellany, where basically the authors Hugard and Braue, they throw all the material they find in there, trying to give it the best order they can. It is a lot of material, and from this day on, basically, I'm kind of navigating through the book, trying to give the whole thing kind of an order in a way of how I'm processing with my interests and with my needs the lecture, the lecture or the literature, and I hope you guys follow along and having a great time. And then we go into different tricks here, and my favorite one, that is the Danbury Delusion. And if you make it today, until there, we're gonna take a look a little bit on this trick. It's really, really, really cool. So let's dive here right into this beautiful material. Now this is a little, I'm going to show you now a little impromptu sleight of hand thing you can do, and don't be too harsh with me because this is not working material. This is something now that just comes up. This is me showing you my first ideas of what how I would integrate the stuff into my, first of all, practice routines, right? To get it maybe at one point somewhere. And this is the simple thing we're getting started with: having a spectator pick a card out of the deck, right? Any card right there from the center. It's the King of Hearts. Now we lose the King of Hearts in a fan right there, right? And then we bury the King of Hearts with the fan in the center of the center. Now, so far I used one technique here in the book, because now we have this 4 of clubs on top of the deck. And now I use another technique from the book we just learned in this chapter. This is when you take a card and you place it onto the table and you rub a little bit. Guess what? It turns into the spectator selection. However, when you do this a second time, right? When you do this a second time, you place the card here on the table and you rub a little bit. The card vanished. And as you can see, this was a very bad example of the rub-a-dub-dub vanish, which I've never built in or integrated in. And it's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. First is it a color change. My hands are so sweaty. And then it is a vanish. Now, here's the deal. The rub-a-dub-dub vanish, it has different names. I've seen it performed on different levels. I believe if you're not too serious about your magic, you can get away, or you can create a fair illusion and a nice funky situation for your audience. But if you want to really, practice this hard enough, you can create a really powerful illusion. I believe even, or I know that on Aaron Fisher's shop, they would sell a whole DVD on this vanish with, of course, an advanced technique. And so let me give me a little try here. So because first of all, I'm going to do this how it would feel like, how it would look like, and then of course I copy the same motion, and now of course there is a little bit of a sucker move in here, because when we do this the first time, we use this as a color change. Yeah, we place the card in here up on the table, and then we rub, and then the card changes. Boom. We do it a second time. Now the spectator expects this to happen a second time. Now I actually loaded the card. Spectator expects it to happen a second time, but we don't take it away, of course, and then we create the illusion. Now, I believe this is something I wouldn't take too seriously, because I usually don't like underestimating my onlookers. And a move like this, if you don't really put a lot of effort into it, is easily detected. Just like the Mexican turnover. Remember this one? Mexican turnover. Oh my God, my fingers are today have been practicing. Yeah, Mexican turnover. I always get these vibes of some people just catching up on me. Gotta turn the camera off. It's overheating again. So I would just practice it fair enough to create a fair illusion, which I wouldn't put too much effort into, though, because it's more than like a little bit of, teasing your audience. You just performed a powerful color change. The spectator's card magically ends up on the table. How is that even possible? And then you just do not wait there much. Don't even let the effect really sink in, and then you hit them with a card vanish. It's just a little bit bang bang. And I just wanted to give you this example, because this is something. This is from the difficulty level, not so crazy, but it will elaborate your card magic from just to performing tricks to actually do things where people say that, well, this is going. Stefano Barksdale, I've been talking about the rub-a-dub, which I just discovered in the chapter here. Discoveries of the expert card technique. It's a card vanish I never really used. Maybe if you guys know anyone who's performing this really well, and if you want to contribute anything here in the chat, wait, where's the chat? Yeah.
Apply some pressure.
Apply some pressure. I'm so confused today. I'm really open for this, because I had this vanish on my list for quite a while, but I never got really into the workings with so many stuff. By the way, I want to give a little shout out to George Anido. George Anido is a guy who's showing occasionally up here in the stream, and YouTube's algorithm just fed me a video he just uploaded when the 20, like a couple of days ago, about 10 advanced slides that I can't do, and I love this very much. And he is really displaying there 10 slides that are considered difficult, and for me this was kind of inspirational, because you easily in the field of card magic, you get overwhelmed. There are so many techniques and so many slides, and sometimes this might even give you bad vibes about yourself. You will never learn all of this, and this is kind of frustrating. And here's the good news: you don't have to learn all of this. You don't use a book like Expert Card Technique to learn everything that's that's in there. But it's good to know that there are some techniques in there, and having read them and thinking about them and just giving it a little shot, just giving it a little test, might be fair enough, and who knows, many tricks do you actually need in order to build yourself a nice set or a nice routine to entertain folks on different levels, whatever you're up to, right? So let me go back here to the chat. What are you guys saying? Crazy Channel said, greetings you all, apologies I'm late, professor, I swear I did my homework. No worries, dude, no worries. This is the World Wide Web, yeah, no worries. Sam Bros, from my knowledge, Glenn Morphew has worked on the rub-dub vanish as well. He called it the rub-dub deluxe. Yeah, I like it, because when I do it, it's deluxe, Yeah. At a certain point, and I've been talking about this also really frequently here on this channel, so many things we are confronted here, we are confronted with these days. They are, they're out there for quite a while, and then there's always kind of a revival after revival. Heck, who was it? Wit van Wit or Crazy Challengers just bought the latest version of the Haunted Key, which when I saw the trailers for Murphy's Magic, or I don't know, I'm not even tracking this shit anymore. I was just like, it's really somebody selling the Haunted Key again? That's bananas. But in card magic, there is an evolution of the slides. They really do change over the course of time, sometimes to the better, sometimes that they get buried, sometimes a slide is really discovered, from an old source. But no matter where the slide is at, there's also always going to be an evolution in your hands over the course of the time. During the whole learning process, first getting it at your fingertips, then the phase of integrating it in routines and performances, and then maybe maxing it out and bringing it to this absolutely insane, flawless level, which you need for these amazing camera trailers, right? magic trailers where one flashy effect is cut next to another, and then you've got dust and you get changing cameras and everything, and then your fingers, they got to be super smooth and stuff, and there is an evolution happening with these techniques, and but I fancy a very rough, very dirty style when it comes to performing. I've been introduced to the art form in that manner by a working professional who was out there every night at the bars, every day at the tables, hitting tourists, hitting people, and he would there was nothing beautiful about what he was doing from an artistic thing. He was just doing it out there really roughly, and I love it. And card magic comes from there also. It's something people play at a table, people play in a relaxed situation, and I just love it like that. So I'm not freaking out about performers not having superb technique or something. I don't really care about it. And this is where this channel is also now heading slowly, really looking at the performance situation, at the performance, at the skills you have to develop and practice and cherish as a performer. It's not only the slides, it's not only how well you create the illusion, it's also how well you build it all up, how well you interact with your audience. And by the way, here's another link I want to share with you guys in preparation for the next session coming up in 2 weeks. This is about it's going to be about presentation. That's right, presentation. And there is a video out there, and also this was kind of the algorithm shown me accidentally, about a strange form of stand-up. James Acaster, I believe. I've already heard of the guy. I've even seen bits of his stand-up material, and it stood out. It really stands out from what you usually see. And this person who does this YouTube channel here, Comedy Without Errors, he gives a little analysis of what makes this guy's stand-up comedy so very different from his competitors. And I believe what's been explained here in this video is very reasonable. Just change the figure or the performance art of comedian to magician, and you will learn a ton watching this video, because at the end of the day, it's all about how you piece it all together. It's all about a whole act you perform for your audience, which is really which is actually in a different talk from what we have been mainly focusing on so far, and that is the mechanics of the art form, right? So you will find all relevant links in the info cards as well as in the info box, right? As usual on my channel. So Sebastian Hensel is also in the house right now. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show tonight. Xavier Spade has a good tutorial on the rubber duck vanish. Awesome. I'm curious to see that. I learned a few versions of it. I found that one of the main debates was whether or not you should turn your wrist after the retention of vision pull away of the rub dub. That was me. It was awesome. Wit from Wit. I thought my 5-year-old daughter that one. Okay, I'm not following you guys in the comments here. Are you talking to me or you're talking with each other? Also, OTHMARiUS has a trick using the rub dub vanish called Rub Away. He published it in his book, Let's See the Deck. Also, thank you so much, Stefan Barksdale, for your insight here, for your information. This is really great. Just like getting back here to the card table, hoping the camera is not burning. So all in all, for me, it's important that you guys don't overwhelm, don't burn out, don't despair on the way, Even the great OTHMARiUS. Oh man, now I gotta figure this out with the camera again. Sorry guys. Okay. This worked. So, as I said before, this is something that when you combine this with the color change, the necessity of the power of the cleanness of the execution is not too important. Believe it or not, the color change I just showed you guys. So when we come from here, it doesn't matter which card we got. We got 2 of diamonds, right? And we bring the 2 of diamonds on the table and we rub it, and then the 2 of diamonds change into a 3 of spades. And this is for layman. It is kind of what just happened. Now immediately you do this again. You say, I place the card here on the table and I rub, and then it vanishes completely. They're gonna enjoy that. They will be going like, ha, that's funny. Where's the card? And anyways, so don't stress out too much. However, of course, I've seen versions of this performed so, and I think, of course, what you want to get this, you want to get the motion of the card going to the table as you want to create this as strongly as possible, right? And I've not worked this in here, so I would probably push the card inwards when I come over here to hide it and pull it then from here, something like this. I don't know. This is how I probably would do it. Like when I come, I'm just in this motion. I'm just thinking about how do I get this? What do I have to create as a whole picture, as a whole flow of motions in order to create this vanish here, right? And the vanish happens because it's visually represented in the brains of our onlookers that this card goes down, right? Am I right? That's what I need to create without the card, without carrying the card away. Yeah. And so this is once again one of those things. You get it. You can work with this without, going too crazy practicing this. But you can spend hours and hours and hours and hours to make this look real nice and shiny, right? Love it. It's a very nice one. So anyways, let's get back to this one technique here that I discovered last session, and which I practiced a little bit. This is like catching here a break in this little in this motion by swinging the cards here to the side, right? Losing the card here basically and catching the break underneath in order to throw it back on top of here, right? Which I use. Then I one-handed fan. I place it in there. There we go. I got the card buried. And now, with any double that I prefer, right? I have a different card on the top. And what I'm going to do with this now? And I was like, yeah, why not use this vanish, this wrapped up vanish, or this little routine here in combination? So we take the card, and then the card turns into the spectator's card. Crazy, isn't it? And then we do this once, and when we do this once again, you will find the card vanishes. And this was bad because you saw me this clearly pushing it in, and I would be working on how to avoid, this pushing back of the card. And I don't think they are really they're much explained. They don't do much explaining in the book. What pages is that one-handed break on? It is it was in it was in card changes. That's page 81 somewhere. And this is something that I immediately, this is something, so just that you get a little bit of my thinking here. This wrapped up vanish is like, yeah, it's something nice to play with, and then you practice this a little bit, and I got ideas to bring it in. This is something that works for the onlookers. That's nice for the eyes. That you get a lot. You can do this pretty much whenever you want to, right? However, catching in this situation, when you have a spectator pick a card like this, right? Being enabled to catch a break in this situation here, and then just show the card, and then create a double here, a card switch basically. This for me was immediately, I will practice this until I really get this really down. I don't have it down right now, but still, anyways, in this situation, there's a lot of cover. So it says stop, right? Or the spectator says stop, and you say, right, you stop me at any position, and I have a ton of time because I'm interacting with the audience, and I'm showing you the card. This card is it, right? Let's see what card it is. I got a nice break already, and then I'm just, doing this. It's absolutely unsuspicious. It's really clean. Now I'm in this position, and sometimes I do sometimes like this, place it there, and there's no in a way to force here coming from me. This is really all classic stuff, and I found that pulling it off like this, spectators sometimes got confused with the packages. So when you do this, right, make sure to have this package absolutely out there all the time in plain sight, right? And when you changed it, we got the 9 of spades here right now, right? And then I use the fan with the hand. I place the card in there, and also there, this is a classic move, right? Now I got this absolutely clean. I can display this to everybody. The card is in there. I place the card in here, in the fan. This is a line. I know it's out there for a very long time, and everybody came up with it themselves with this specific notion. I'm quite sure about it. So now we got, of course, another card. We got the King of Spades on top of the deck, and because we just buried the 7, what was the 7 of clubs? So let's wrap the King of Spades onto the table, and let's see what we did here. There we got the 9 of clubs. Nice, isn't that nice? It's lovely. It's something, and you can do this all the time. You can do this all the time. And this is now basically combining two things from 2 chapters here in the book for a little surprise thing. It's a routine I would definitely recommend practicing, because it's not too hard. It creates a powerful effect, and it's really beautiful. And the next thing you do is you vanish the card, right? There it goes, bang, the card is vanished. And even if they know, because it doesn't matter, it's a fun approach, right? Because you showed some serious magic just before that. I like this very much. Now the same technique we can use to create a powerful motion, and I use this meme here.
Apply some pressure.
Yeah, because we're gonna use this right now. So I lost my pages here. Where am I? Frederick Braue is in the house, I'm seeing right now. Awesome, Frederick. Awesome, you're tuning in. I hope you're still there. That's amazing. It's so hot, my brain is not working properly, but you guys noticed from last year. So, the Card Through magazine. Card 302, Card Through Magic. Here's another kicker, another killer, another thing. When you realize how easy this is, and how you can do this impromptu anytime, and it's powerful. It's super powerful. And that's a discovery here, right there. That's a discovery. Rub-a-dub-dub. So, and it is the same motion here, but this time we do it from the bottom, whereas we pull the card off to have it without throwing all the others away, to give it this nice notion. Now, once again, I've never tried this from another perspective, but my magician's perspective. But as I'm trying this right now, I can get the card from this angle, from this up angle, pretty hanging loose. I got this. Right now I've got it like this, right? Like this. Look at this. From here, I just can take the book, close the book, and then, okay, and then, what the heck is happening? And then,
apply some pressure.
Apply some pressure, right? And guess what? The card rises, melts through the whole deck, melts to the table. Now that is the effect. That's the effect. All right, let's see how you work this. Let's see what are the tricky things about it. In Magic, Magic is such a difficult art form. I can't believe how freaking difficult this is what we are doing. First of all, we have to understand what is going on. Okay, what is actually the happening? What is the illusion we want to create? Now, first we have to understand what is the illusion we want to create. Then we have to understand the working. So how do I get there? What are the mechanics? What is the way? What is the structure? And then we have to understand why this illusion is actually working. So what are the objectives? What are the difficulties? What is in our way? And after we've done all this, we are not dressed yet. Okay, we don't have a character. We don't have a story. We don't have a rhythm, a notion. We don't have our signature. We just have the rough construct, and now you have to set it all up. Right, and you have to do this for every trick, and then you have to piece all the tricks together, basically. And all of this is a lot of work, but it is very rewarding, and it is so much fun to do. By the way, just on Facebook, I've seen so many memes lately. Magicians making fun about themselves having so many tricks in their closet, and then they need I don't know, permission of their wives to spend more money for magic and so on and so on. And it's true. You can easily get lost in hopping from one trick to another trick without never really getting them down, because at the point where you experience a lot of success already, not because you're performing the stuff, because you figured it out how it works. This is how it works, why it works, and then you can also do it in a way, yeah. But you still have so much way ahead of you to polish the thing, to really get this groovy, to get this down. And this is where a lot of people, are in the middle of the work, or when the really hard work, when the creative work really starts. Oh, there comes up a next one. How does that work? But that's okay. That's okay. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just the same. So Crazy Channel Chat, that technique is also referred to as Kelly Ovett bottom replacement. It was originally used to be controlled to the bottom. Yeah, well, because in this thing, so we're talking here about this this little sucker, right? This, getting the bottom cut. How method the fact is simply is with them comes. Yeah, right. This is what I wanted to share with you. So what we get, basically, just the production, or just the we here just get the method to hide the card underneath the paper. But we have a card selected, and then we have a card lost in the deck, and then we have the card controlled in the deck to the bottom, because we need it at the bottom in order to get into pole position, into this pole position, in order to sneak it under the magazine, right? What I love, it's one of my favorite quotes in Magic. It's by Aaron Fisher, and it's saying in Magic, and I believe he's specifically referring to card Magic. We hold, no, we do something completely unnatural, and then we make it look like it is natural. And it's so true. It is so true. It's so true. So I'm losing the background music here because YouTube wants. I'm telling you, I'm gonna pay them $10 a month just to leave me alone with this. Do you still wanna? Do you actually really wanna listen to the music? Yes, because I clicked the button before. So what is going up in the car? Are you guys having a great time? I haven't been looking up. 14 people right now watching. That's the peak tonight. So you guys, you're tuning in at the right spot, because I'm going to show you now how you control the card to the bottom and reverse it. Right, we need to reverse the card also. Why do we need to reverse the card? Because we want to have the card face up in the deck. Face up underneath the newspaper. Okay, are you ready for this, everybody? Do you want to see how the great OTHMARiUS would not only have spectators select a card and then lose it in the center of the deck, but at the same time control it to the bottom and reverse it at the bottom. I'm going to show you some absolutely cool stuff here right now. Just because we're such a cozy, tiny community, basically hiding in plain sight. And by the way, everything going down here on this channel is happening thanks to the OTHMAriUS who do support me with a pledge on Patreon, which is fucking awesome. This is my Patreon page here. And yes, by the way, we hit our first goal, and the first OTHMAriUS exclusive live jam. By the way, these maniacs wanted to call themselves that way. I just had them vote. You know, it's democracy at its best. It's scheduled at first 7th of July, right? This is next week. We're gonna do this next week on Tuesday, and you just gotta be there on Discord. And then, you can watch this this is an unlisted link, so you can watch this when you're on Patreon. You get the link there, and then you are at the same time at Discord, and then I give you a call if you want to, or you give me a call, and then we could do some video chat thing, and then I'm gonna be totally shocked how ugly you all are. Stephen Barksdale writes, I've enjoyed this ever since the start of this. This is one of my favorite books now, Curse of these Streams. Awesome. You've been tuning in for longer, but you have never, it's the first time you've been really active in the chat, I wonder. Stefan. Stefan. Anyways. Yeah, right. So you guys know the drill. So everybody who's supporting me on Patreon, that's going on. Maybe I will send you also a reminder message on Patreon, and then we will see what's going on. So what now? I lost my track here because of that. That was already, I talked already about the 10 1 slides. Don't despair with all them slides that are offered to you, right? Pick what, listen to me. Basic things are the fundamental shuffling and cutting techniques, some fine tricks, then of course double lift, double turnover, that's mandatory, and the fundamentals of card control with cuts and breaks, catching breaks. You know, that's enough stuff, and that is all you need basically to perform stunning magic. Yeah, there is a force, comes a force. Guess what? Easiest force you perform with an overhand shuffle. The easiest and mightiest force with the overhand shuffle. Easy like that, right? Of course, if you can do this, if you are out there performing regularly, go and practice every chance you get the classic force. It's just, you know, because you want to be cool. You want to do it like a real magician, you know. But everybody else who doesn't has time, too much time at their hands, right? You gotta make smart choices here, and lay a solid foundation, right? And then you will. By the time you get to the real advanced stuff, don't be this guy. I mean, he's awesome. He's doing great stuff. But, you know, this guy in the sense of not him personally, but the guy who's going like, I've got so much on my list. I'm frustrated. I want to get out there. I don't enjoy myself anymore, right? Because I will never reach my goals and stuff, right? Don't forget about that. It doesn't really matter. And do not stress out about what you see online and what you see when you watch those trailers and when you watch those top notches. You are just watching the products of those people who have been devoting their lifetime to become professional entertainers, who made decisions on their own, which field they're working on, right? And so, of course, if you watch this and that trailer and this thing, you just like, oh my God, everybody knows so much. Yeah, they know their fair deal. They know what they're doing. That's why they're where they are, right? But they don't know everything either. Can't, right? Although the repertoire, although Shin Lim's repertoire is just blowing my mind. It's really blowing my mind. And of course, we got legends. We got the big ones. We got, you know, our masters. Who, you know, Michael, I don't even know how you get there. Even if you started with magic as a child. devoted all your lifetime. How do you know everything like Michael Amar? Like this, to everything I've been interested in. You get a Michael Amar DVD, right? With this guy like, hey, let me show you how to do it. And then you put this DVD in and it's going like, this is really good. Anyways, I'm losing track here, man. I'm losing track here. What time? How long are we doing this? We're doing this for 43 minutes. Remember, guys, when I got started this year, I said I'm going to do this streams just 45 minutes, period, and then I'm done because of the algorithm. And now I'm going all over it again here. Okay. So let me show you this here. Let me show you this little bit sleight of hand. You know the dribble, right? You have somebody. Pick a card with dribbling. You can also use this as a force, by the way, but this is so easy. So the dribble is something I highly recommend you need to master. And you might need to master it in a sense so that you really can have the cards fall one by one from your fingertips to the last cards, right? Now you have a spectator stop at one point. Now you show the card in that manner. 3 of diamonds. And the next time, you just dribble the cards over there. Now, you see me flashing, you know exactly what I did, right? I just snapped this one card, this 3 of diamonds up here as I shuffled over there. Now I'm in this position I would be in for specific color changes, right? From this position, my hands are on top anyway. If I just push down here and the card goes right there, at the inner corner, at the very first joint here, at the bottom of the finger, right there, I just push the card to the top of the deck while I square them up. And I got 2 cards, and by thus reversing a card on top of the deck. Okay? It's not so hard to do. You show the card. Let me see if I can do this here without flashing. I just grab the card and I just square the cards up. And now I've got my card reversed at the bottom of the deck. Nice and easy. I can even, when I square them cards up, catch a nice pinky break underneath the first card, just like that. To make my life easy, to catch and then transfer the break to the thumb, like that. And from here, I'm now ready to easily get into this overhand grip where I just, have the card dropping down, like that. See how many steps this is? But basically, you're getting into pole position in just one straight line of motions. And you can have your break. So we're in a situation, we have our card shuffled, and we're not forcing a card here, right? We have our card shuffled. We say to the spectator, always explain what you do, and look, I'm having the cards fall one by one from my fingertips. You're gonna call stop, at any point where you want to. Right? Let's do this here, be intuitive. And there are those jokers, who want to go for the top card or for the bottom card. Even if it doesn't matter here, a little practice tip, practicing performing, if they wait too long, this is a typical situation, you got yourself a little heckling situation here, not heckling in the classical sense, you just got, it's some people like to fight, especially these days. So, and they wait, you're like, what are you doing? I said, you gotta be intuitive. Did you even forget how to be intuitive here, my friend? And you go, yeah, come on, we do this now. And then, so because you want them to stop somewhere in the center, right? Stop right there, wonderful. And it's really important, when you do this to clean interplay, bang, it's really, and you can even do this twice if cards drop a little weirdly, right? Like this. So we go here and just say, stop right there, wonderful. Stop me right there. And great thing is you're still here, you keep this in pole position for just dribbling off on top of there, right? For me, this was key to get this going. I turn the card over with my finger, I say, 9 of diamonds, everybody, please memorize the 9 of diamonds. Because I'm always playing for a big crowd, right? So I'm showing like, then you come back, and at the point where you start dribbling the cards down, you don't even bring attention to this anymore, because this is going down. I'm just showing this here to display the motion, right? This is how it would look like here from the top. And then I come to grab the cards, and it's just a natural motion. I just square up the cards, and there you go. You got it. You got it replaced. And now you are easy. You can just do what you need to do, right? This is how I would recommend you guys getting into pole position for this. It's a little bit tricky, right? But don't you worry a bit. Don't you worry a bit, just like this. And of course, if you need to learn this technique a little more, I've got a tutorial how to use this. It's the Cardini change as a color change, right? Like this, something like this. I flashed. Did you see? Who flashes loses. Cardini change tutorial is up and running. I believe I really badly promote the thumbnail as the Bernie change, because it was, I don't know, Bernie Sanders was running the second time before he dropped out, and I was feeling the burn again. I was thinking, like, you know, I'm gonna contribute to the cause, but you know, now we got Corona. By the way, I hope everybody is well out there. I hope you're safe and sound. I hope your loved ones are good, and I hope the actual crisis is not affecting you too hard. I just wanted to let you know, although I'm just not mentioning this here at all, I'm well aware about the situation. I believe it's going to get worse before it's get better. So I hope you're doing well. Just don't lose your shit. You know, don't go crazy. Whatever it is, you got to go through. We're all in this right now. You know, we're having a little bit of stress. We are impacted by this whole situation. Also, not with health for now, luckily, but economically, right? Because all the markets are closed, and the markets who are open are not working, and it's a disaster. Yeah, and it's a lot of people are going to have it really hard here. And I truly hope you're not one of them. And I hope if you should experience some disturbances, that you're getting through this safe and sound, right? Okay. Let's figure out now the thing about this trick here, because I'm shifting my focus slowly away just from the sleight of hand, from the techniques, from the mechanics to the overall performance situation. And if you got a trick like this, you get an ideal explanation of the situation, how to get the card underneath the book or the paper, right, in the situation. So let's go back to the card table. Yeah, let's see it like this. So we got our target card reversed at the table, and we get into our pole position. Let's see. Now the camera that shows me clearly I can't hold the card like this. I can't hold it like this because I've got a certain camera angle. So if I would shoot this with the camera, I would, you know, make my mind up how I can create the illusion in the best manner. You know, taking also care about the shadows and so on, holding this unnatural situation, which I don't want to hold for a very long time, and you coming into a situation like that, which didn't work. So I try this again. How do I work this sucker? All right, so now I'm in a situation where I'm working with a technique that implies practice. And this trick is not necessarily a trick that is easy for impromptu work. So maybe coming from the front is an easier solution here. Like, so I gotta bring the cards down. I gotta drop this at some point, and this drops to the top. You get the problem here. Now for me, getting the card reversed at the bottom, any card, is not so much the problem. Right, but now getting the card into this, getting the card under there is the problem, of course. So, and I believe they say I slide down here, and now I bring this with my finger. Maybe I pick up the whole book or something, and then I slide the book to the side, which I can do innocently. I place the cards here. Now this was the first time where something worked. Now I got the card there. I want to have it in the center. So you see, now working this trick shows me, or trying to figure this out, and I don't care now if the card is reversed or not at the bottom, shows me that I come into this into this situation where I realize a problem, right? And then it's entirely up to me how I solve this. And you will
apply some pressure.
Yeah, apply some pressure, and you will as soon as you, and I like this now about this trick, and this is why I did choose here to take this out of there. We have on one side, we have this what we are also good at, sleight of hand. We got those moves and stuff, and we can control a card. But at the other hand, we have this whole situation where we interact with the room, with the objects that are around us. And for me, this is always super exciting because I like this completely improvised, jazzy style. I don't like this parlor, completely routine style. We talked about this also in a chapter before. So for me, it's always like interesting to see. This is something where I say I'd love to just, you know, suck this in, soak this up, to get this, you know, imagine you can use this anytime, whenever you want. But what is the problem in its core? And it is to find a technique to get this from several angles under the book in a natural motion, right? Pretty much in every circumstance. Is this possible? And if I believe I can make this happen for myself, then it's something where I start working, where I start going into this. Otherwise, I would decide for a trick where I have to control my environment in a wider range, right? So this is not impromptu anymore. It becomes parlor. For me, this is my personal definition. Close-up, impromptu magic is stuff where it just go out. I can have a setup deck, it doesn't matter. But I'm working with my environment and everything. I don't have control. That's the basic note here. I don't have control over my environment. You know, I'm so in. I'm just part of it. It's just shifting. I gotta be, you know, in there. You know, but parlor magic is something where I have even a seated situation. You know, you have a close-up mat, you got your things, you got it every day. You can prepare yourself for this situation, and you know every move, and you can go down like this. It's a different thing, right? And magic and card magic gives you different options. And this is walking the line here. This is something where you say, okay, it's not so cool for sitting. This would be when I'm standing. I could hold this much easier, right? I wouldn't hold this for a long time before I try to get into pole position to sneak this in, of course. In the words of the authors, this trick is a good one if smartly performed. In other words, if the card is swung under the magazine without the slightest hesitation or pause in the sequence of action. In secretly sliding the card underneath, the right hand holding the pack should appear to have approached the magazine only to aid in placing it neatly on the floor. The chosen card is slipped underneath, and immediately the right hand moves to the left and places the pack in the middle of the magazine, and so on and so on. So, of course, if I place a card with a deck of cards underneath a magazine or something, there needs to be, and we talked about this all the time, also with all the other motions we do. There needs to be meaning to the action. There needs to be reason for the action. So you just don't bring a newspaper up to put this there. You would work with the newspaper. Maybe you would do this water in newspaper before or something. There needs to be a reason for the newspaper or for the book of it being in place in the first place. And then there needs to be a reason to move this around also, so that this picture you're creating at the end is completely natural. Now you got this, and then you do the magic. You apply some pressure to it.
Apply some pressure.
And it starts happening. Now, I'm not going too deeper into this one. I guess you understand what I'm saying here. It's not rocket science. Harsh Magic just wrote for, I don't know, hours ago. Hello, sir. Hello, Harsh. How are you doing? I'm I'm in the middle of the book, and I'm discovering Secrets of Magic by Jean Hugard and Frederick Braue with expert card technique, right? And we already read. I had a little summary here. We have been right now. There is a blend between sleight of hand.
Apply some pressure.
And the overall approach of why you do this. So the first thing, let me show you this once again here. Wait. How did I even do that? What was the trick? Right. So we have this beautiful situation of catching a break underneath here, and then using this break. Oh man, I'm failing here so completely. Oh, the camera is burning. Wait, you know what? Give my hands a rest. Let's kill the camera so I don't want to break it, and then gets back there to the recap. Okay, and now comes the Mercury card and the folding card, and I guess due to the progress and time here, I'm not going into this. And you know what? I would just talk about the double discovery a little bit. And then we leave the tricks, because this will take too long. And I'm so confused today. It's crazy. But the Danbury delusion is a trick that incorporates this technique of changing the card with the break underneath the package. And it makes such a clever use of it. And when I read this, I thought this is such a beautiful trick you can do impromptu. And I want to. This is what I went to second dealing only because of this trick. Because the second deal is another technique you need to have mastered in order to perform this trick. So now when I started thinking about what kind of second deal I wanted to learn, I made a very crazy decision. I said I go for no other second deal but the Turner second deal, basically the Erdnase pushover second deal, which is the cleanest, slickest version you can perform, but which takes incredible time. It really takes a lot of practice. There's no getting around a lot of practice. Pretty much, you guys have seen me practicing this the whole last year. Every Tuesday, I was practicing this. I've been practicing this for so long, and I'm with 97%, and the last 10% that has been so, the progress has been so slowly. It was so frustrating, but it's at the I said now I'm kind of all in. Put so much time and effort into this. I gotta bring this to the end. It's crazy. The Danbury delusion. It's a beautiful trick. Now maybe we can integrate this in next session. I don't know. Here's the effect. A card having been freely selected, noted by the spectator, and shown to everyone, but the magician, is returned to the pack. Classic premise. After thoroughly shuffling the cards, the performer announces that by a haphazard cut, he will locate 3 cards, which will indicate the suit, the value, and the location of the card in the pack. We will suppose, for instance, that the chosen card is the 5 of diamonds. So the spectator now deals 3 cards, and those cards indicate the suit, the value, and the position of the card from the top of the deck. Now, in the whole process, the actual card appears on the table, which the magician does not note. So he keeps with the claim of finding the card in the specific manner using 3 other cards, but the spectator's card has already been shown on the table. And it's lying there. But then to the end, that the card is at the position another card predicted, and the card that was noted by the audience as the spectator's card has magically changed. So it's a card change in a time delay. And this trick is beautiful, and I want to really go into an in-depth analysis with you guys on this one, because it is, you know, it gets you thinking about, once again, like with the Chicago opener, what actually makes a card trick a good card trick. Crazy Challengers, right. Was hoping you would go through that trick. Not sure if you remember it, but you covered a very similar trick in the glide section of the Royal Road. It was called Designed for Laughter. No, but this is a very different trick than Designed for Laughter. Or? Ah, interesting. Designed for Laughter is such a fun trick. Yeah, for you're willing to put the effort and time into a second deal, that this trick is that same trick, but on steroids. Yes, of course. But this is not. It is. Well, now I know you got me, man. You got me on. I don't know. Is this? I don't even Designed for Laughter. Is it? I know. I got it. No, when I'm done with this, when I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna figure this out. Hey, Crazy Challengers is always challenging everybody here, including me. Awesome. This is very productive. The Danbury Delusion. It is beautiful. So what I remember, just like in preparation here, what I remember, we are going. Why? We are going not only to drop one card, but 3 cards onto our target card. With a thumb riffle from the bottom of the deck, probably. That's what I remember. Catching a break, somewhere nightly in between. Everything, of course, is hidden due to misdirection. We are in a situation where we're going to display a card. And maybe it's the spectator's card, I don't know. And we place 3 other cards on top of there. And this operation is, and I remember when I read it, and I just don't have it in memory here, and I don't want to read it and waste your time here. I thought it was so well hidden just by the build of the trick, and at the point of the reveal there is no tracing back. And for me, this was the most. And yeah, maybe I bring this up then again, and I'm already saying it here because it's so important that there are different layers you can put upon a specific technique, and those layers are even shifted in time, so that the method is completely hidden, and there is no way tracing it back. And I was thinking, why should I waste my time with any other design but the perfect one? With one that creates absolutely stunning effects, one that also comes with a charming note. You know, the magician makes a mistake here. There's many ways of playing this, and then also this is something that automatically engages the audience. And the method is so well hidden. So this is a trick I'm going to master. This is a trick I'm going to spend time with. Now the decision with the double lift, I believe there you know, when I thought about it, there are so many other effects you can use with a not double, with a second deal, with a decent second deal. And I was thinking, you know, when I go this road, when I use this technique, then let's just do it proper. And for that I knew it. I had to how to say durchstreichen. Now my English is failing me. To cross out. I had to cross out a lot of other techniques I probably will never learn in my life, like the no, I'm gonna learn this, like the Mercury fold, right? Now, this is the other thing I want to talk with you. I wanted to share with you. There is the trick here in the book. Lazy man's card to pocket. And there, I just wanted to tell you or to talk with you about what my problems were with this one. There is a situation when we have a pack of cards. Doesn't really matter now. I'm not going into this trick too much, but I've counted several cards into my right hand, and then I place any card onto the table, right? And then I need to keep both packages in my hands because I'm going with this package into my right hand to reveal pulling this out, the selection which I put into my pocket in the trick. However, before I do that, I reach this position. So this is what the people see. I reach this position, I place a certain card here on the table, and now I've turned this around. Now I have two hands full. And at the point where I turn this around, I feel very uncomfortable with the situation. So I would actually put a card down, a package down to turn it over, which brings me into the question, why would I keep this one? You know, remember, I need to keep this one. Now, I can't put this down because I need to keep this one because I want to reach it in my pockets. I'm in this stupid situation with having both hands occupied, and I'm in the need of turning one card over. This is something when I'm assuming you guys are also reading the tricks, you know, in order to actually learn something. Think about it here in this situation. So what I would do, I would put the cards together to turn this over. But since I'm a lefty, I would put them in my left hand. So I would have to do the thing like this. I would have to reach with the whole deck into my left hand pocket in order to make the move at this point, which also I think is super ugly. And when I came to think about it, reaching with a bunch of cards into your pocket to pick the selected out is kind of suspicious anyway. Now, to be fair, Hugard and Braue I mention here. As with all tricks, whose motive is audacity, and on first reading, this one may appear unconvincing. Yet Mr. Jack McMillan, the originator, and Mr. Charles Miller using it have proved that this is a strong audience trick. And then here's the thing. You know, I'm just a guy. And if Hugard and Braue, who put this amazing book together on the basis of experience with two really big names back in the day, you know, long forgotten, long time ago, saying this is a trick, this works with an audience, I believe them. But still, I had my trouble with it. Confronts you then, however, with a little bit of sleight of hand. You have the deck in the card, and you need to get into the stupid position. And this is what made me laugh so much about the whole thing. And I'm closing here basically with this little circle motion we have been going on in this session. We are now kind of, you know, hopping between sleight of hand moves and the overall performance situation. We are getting more and more into the mindset of really understanding what it is to perform magic and to think about our audience, to imagine what they are seeing, right? In order to create stunning, exciting illusions for them. And the sleight of hand move here is a simple one. You know, you need push the button, push the card over, and come into this position, right? That's what the picture shows here. Let me show you the picture. Wait, where's the picture? There's the picture. Can you see this? There we go. And I was laughing my ass off because I actually took me quite some while to figure this out, how I get this, and I still can't really do this. And you would need to do this in your pocket, right? Such a stupid move. It's just basically picking one card up. And I don't know how these cardistry kids do it. How can they get all these moves down if Uncle OTHMARiUS is already fading just picking one card up, right? So that's the move. To get into this position, that's the grip. To show the card, this is how you finally show the selection in this trick, right? And you do this in the pocket, and while you do this, you're loading the card you put in your pocket beforehand here on top. In ideal case, although this is also another little reading between the lines, why would you want to get your pockets clean? Because audience should be satisfied when you pull the card out that this is the card you put in there in the first place. Usually they are. And if they're not, you say, well, don't you trust me? Or whatever. So pocket cleaning the pockets here, is magicians hiding or making them their life harder than they need to. Or maybe it's just, you know, for impressing the colleagues. Look, I didn't put another card in there. I didn't switch the cards in the pocket. It's really the card that went in there from the very beginning. All right, guys. We are in for 1 hour, 13 minutes. And I'm exhausted. Do you want more? Or will you say it's okay if we quit it for tonight? Let me know. I'm reading your comments for now. And we added info box here. Yeah, if you're willing to put the effort and time into a second deal this trick, okay. Crazy Channel, now it'll be added to the info box. Yeah, I don't mean to come across as defying. Might have done some extra homework here to learn with everyone. No. Crazy Channel, you all whatever you are always welcome, man. With your input is always super rich, and I know you know what you're talking about. Better than never agrees all. Hellogi is in the house. Hellogi, man. What's up? How you doing? Dallas Taylor, greetings. Guys, how long are you watching? I've just haven't been checking out the comments here. Harvey Hui is also in the house. Hello, says hello with a little dog pig. Hello, man. What's up? That's what my thought when reading it. I wonder what a non-magician person would do in that situation. The book basically says, make it so bold it goes undetected. You mean the situation with the two decks in the hand? Now here, this is an indicator for whatever you do, right? Except for the fact that we do unnatural things and we have to make them look natural. In fact, with the sleight of hand thing, there is this other level that reflects on the interaction with your audience, which is looking at what you're doing. So your whole body notion needs to be meaningful. It needs to be meaningful. Don't be the guy who rushes through everything. Go like this and that and this and this and this and this and this and this. Nobody can follow the effects, and the overimpression will suffer a lot. Never haste, never rush. Less is so much more. And then beforehand, think about when you come in a situation where you have two packs in your hands and then there is a third card, you need to put them over, right? You can get away with it when you say, just have your audience pick the card up, because you know it's anyways the wrong card. This would be my solution. I would be like, I would play it like this. I would maybe try to even show my two cards, the two packages in the hand, because I forgot completely about them. I would be like, so what happens in this trick? Just to get, I actually didn't want to talk about this trick so much because I don't think it's so fine, but maybe it is. So we have a card. selected, which we need to control to the top. And what I showed you with the dribble, you can also use as a top control, which is a little more difficult. Anyway, so we have a spectator, have a card. We got a 6 of club. Let's see if I can use the dribble control to control it to the top. Not for cameras, but it would have stood the test in real life. So I got this now on top. And then I would go, I would say, I would have a spectator. No, how was this? How was this? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Right, you don't control any card here. So basically we have a spectator know the card. Is that correct? No, what was the trick? Right, so we have oh man, I'm too dumb. I can't do this. I have to read this again. I forgot about it. And then the music is gone. What was the premise of the trick here? Allowing the spectator to specifically take an opening discussion. All right. Okay, this is how I have. You have a spectator. I'm so sorry, guys. You have a spectator select a card at any number. So we say now. So the spectator goes and he has to memorize the card at any number. Let's say here somewhere at the top of the deck. Here, this is another thing. Here, this is where they say. Method, a spectator having secretly noted a card and the number at which it lies. Proceed as follows. So the trick does not, they don't tell me how I do this. By the way, there are these different ways of explaining a trick in a book or in general explaining a trick. This is just, this is how a spectator selects a card like this. So this is completely up to you now how you play this. You have to come with something up to have a spectator select a card there, right? At any number. Then you take the card, the deck, and you pretend like figuring out what cards the spectator did choose out of the deck at any number, pulling it out of the deck without showing, of course, its suit, and putting it into your pocket. Putting it in my pocket. And then you claim, of course, that you just did that. And then you ask the spectator, which card did the card lie in? Let's say the spectator says at the 10th card. Now, since you took a card from the top of the deck, and you count now to the 10th card, you will bring the 10th card actually to the top of the deck. Okay, let me explain this so that I understand myself. So we say 10th card. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got the Jack of Spades, right? The Jack of Spades. Spectator remembers the Jack of Spades at the 10th card. I don't know this as a magician, so I do my Wuji, and I place the card out. You don't flash the card, you don't show the card. Put it in your pocket, claiming you took the spectator's card out of the deck. Then you ask the spectator, where is the card? Which position is the card? The spectator says the 10th card. Now you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10th card, you put it on the table, right? Now that's the situation, and this is now must be the spectator's card, except for I put it out, or the spectator took it out. So this is the suspension here. We got the situation with the two hands. Now I would go like totally so. Can it be that I took the card out or something? You know, I forget the cards in my hands. check it out. Now I have to let the spectator go to the cards, and I'm with the cards like this. Oh yeah. So I don't hide the cards because I'm in this stupid situation. I'm so excited about myself. This is how I would play it probably. But they turn the card around the spectator, and they realize it's not the card, and you go like, ha! Because as I told you, and then you reach for your pocket, and you pull it out. Pull it out of the pocket. That's a trick, right? Oh, did this work? Does this work? They say it's a great trick for the audience members. Now, I'm glad I just walked through this a little bit here. I want to hear some suggestions of you guys, how you would have your spectators memorize or pick a card and choose a card and memorize the value at this position. I mean, this is just, it's another problem with the trick. This is two things you're asking from your spectator. They have to memorize a card and its position. And please do not get this wrong. But that's a challenge for some. I remember my first mentor, showing me his routine, and within the routine, he wants to know what's 4 times 13. And my brain went like 4 times 14, 4 times 13. I will never riddle that riddle ever in my life. As a spectator, you cannot ask a spectator something like that. Okay, guys. I know nothing about magic or sleight of hand or anything for that matter, but I'm thoroughly entertained. That motherfucker, that's great. That's amazing. Let me put it for somebody who knows nothing about it. It's a beautiful and amazing art form. We create illusions with everyday props. And in order to do that, we have to learn a ton of shit of things. We have to practice dexterity. We have to practice choreography. We have to practice acting and interacting with an audience. And there are different levels of difficulty, and there are different fields you can work on, from television magic to stage magic to parlor magic, which is a very intimate form already, and the so-called close-up or micro magic, where the performer stands pretty much in the middle of the crowd, surrounded by people or semi-surrounded by people. And this channel is all focused on that, on doing this with cards. It's a beautiful art form. It's a beautiful hobby. And it's a beautiful profession for those who are crazy enough, aiming for that goal, or who already made the decision. And it's a hard time for all performing artists right now. It's a really hard time. Yeah. It's odd because with the Danbury delusion, the method is so deep and hidden, and then with this trick, the method and the effect are quite similar. That's true. And this is the thing here. This book is, and I said it before, I said it again, it's more like a snapshot. It's more like a collection of the latest state-of-the-art material in the art form, which, as you know, is evolving all the time. And so they would just put in like all the material that all these masterminds had worked on. And there is this thing, there are things working for some that are just not working for others. And this is something, the beauty once again about this one is that this is an impromptu trick that you can do. You can card to pocket, lazy card to pocket, it's called like this. You can do this anytime. Like standing out, you can just get started with this classic. Without palming, basically. Which is nice. It's good to know. And it's a working trick, it's working material. interactive. You know, your audience, they choose a number, they choose the suit, you know, and you go through there and you play. You have this thing, and it's a nice trick, I believe so. But it's something that just you just will find out for you. You just have to find out for yourself. Working this, giving it a try, probably, you know. And but you gotta figure this sleight of this bitch out. This sleight of hand sucker. Like, you gotta really figure this out, man. Sebastian Albert, nothing magical, but if you visit in Vienna anytime in the future, you just give me a call and we'll have some real beer. I really feel sorry seeing you drinking Heineken. I'm a man of poor taste. Okay, my beloved subscribers. Let's do a little recap here, since the camera is on. I'm off to call it a night. So, and then we go into the Danbury delusion later. So I had this this discovery that this is an absolutely stunning moment to catch a break like this, when all the focus and you have all the time. You see did you see the shadow here? Who gave it away? All the time when the spectator looks here, and I still gotta practice this. I placed the card, that's the spectator's card, 5 of diamonds, just right there, and I dropped 2 cards. Okay, once again. Stop right there, right? As spectator stops me at any time. I just show the card 10 of diamonds. Please, everybody, 10 of diamonds, memorize this one. I put it in the fan. It goes within the fan, in the middle of the middle, inside of there. Now, my favorite, the L, you know it. Like there, I show the top card. It's an indifferent card, 3 of clubs. But when I place the 3 of clubs onto the table and I rub it a little bit, you will find it turns into spectator's card. Right? Just to make use of the rub-a-dub vanish when we do this a second time, because then the card disappears. Very nice little routine. Everybody can work. And the workings for this one are not so hard. Just like this. Alright? You just pull just like a glide, you know. It's a little glide here with the third finger. Does the job in this angle, gliding this to the side here to catch a break. It looks differently. Let me show you this, like this. Oh man, this in this angle it doesn't really work. Right? This is, you know, my wrist is tilt. There you go. This is the motion. Bang, bang. That's what you need. You get this break underneath. Wonderful, very practical. And then I go into this. This is how I hold it then. Just discovered this 2 weeks ago here. And then, of course, it's about the timing, the right timing to drop the card here. I like to go play this with the fan. There you go in, the fan. Fan goes in, the fan, and fan. Now, this is, of course, not an easy routine, because you need your DL. We got on top the 4 of clubs. 4 of clubs goes onto the table and turns into the spectator's card. And when we do this once again, the 4 of clubs, or respectively the spectator's cards, vanishes. And keep in mind, that is the poorest execution of the thing I've ever seen. Should do the job, should work for an entertaining moment, for a little surprise. Not a biggie here. Of course, in this situation, you can play a little bit around here with a Mexican turnover before you say, you know what, let's just vanish the card. Right? Something like this. Very nice for card magicians. Very, very powerful. Now, then we learned that we can use this technique to sneak the card underneath a smartphone. Like something like this, underneath the smartphone. Bang. Yeah, I'm such an idiot. But that's an idea. Underneath the smartphone. Like, could you do this underneath the smartphone? Yeah, like this. Something like that. And then, magical gesture.
Apply some pressure.
Apply some pressure, right? And then the card is there. How do you get the selection reversed at the bottom of the deck in one motion? This is just a fast recap of everything we talked. We go with the dribble. We have a spectator select a card. 7 of clubs. we dribble the card into the deck, but actually we lift it up here, then we bring it to the bottom, reversed as we square up the cards, get ourselves in pole position for the thing, and then we bring out the book as we do the strange move, which I'm just not making here right now because when the deck is full, right? Strange move. And then we bring the cards in one flow motion under there. That's what they say in the book. And then I explained very much in detail why this is a lot of work, more work than you would expect when you just read it, because you need to get this moment in a perfect flow, and also the overall movement needs to be meaningful, reasonable. So you gotta practice the whole thing, piece all the little elements together to get this beautiful motion. And maybe in a closing the book would be something. Yeah, let me see this. When I come here a lot, lift it there, and you come here like this. You could close it. That would be something. That would be an option. I don't know. But you get the idea. You see here now as an example. On the one hand, we have the sleight of hand, we have the mechanics, but then we have the overall performance, and it's a nice example of how you would work this sucker, right? And then what was the other thing? We talked about the other technique. And then we prepare ourselves. We're getting ready for the Danbury delusion by a pinky count by a thumb count at the inner side of the short side, getting a break of 3 cards, and using this break. And using this break in order to create a very powerful illusion, and dropping 3 cards. So this is really something that if you want to follow along with this trick when I get into this, that is 3 cards, 3 count, and throw in on top. This is something you can practice whole day long. It's really important for this trick. So this is not an easy trick actually, but thankfully yes, there's a lot of cover by misdirection. And then of course we need to deal the cards accordingly. Oh, I haven't done this for a long time. Also, I've been practicing all last week because I was in and I really don't like what I'm seeing. Anyways, camera's over burning. Overheating. Time to go. Now this is a rich book. This is absolutely insane, intense. And we're going to talk next week about presentation, which kind of adds up to the whole thing. We talked about misdirection, and then we went here now a little bit back to the mechanics with these beautiful discoveries, but also talking about the whole tricks, the whole trick design in general. And then we talk about the huge topic of presentation, which then gets on top of everything. And then we go back to another soul search. We're going to find even more material, but it's important to keep in mind not to overload, not to overdose, and not to despair on the way, because this book is just packed. It's jam-packed. I mean, quite honestly, I found, you know, there's so much work. Just this trick I was talking about, and these tricks. Oh, there's so much, and then even more and more and more and more. Jesus Christ, you know, who has time to do all this? But it is amazing. There are amazing things in there, and it's really up to you to go for whatever you like, whatever you enjoy, whatever you think that's really great. This is really cool, you know. Awesome, guys. So let's see how many are with me. We got 14 guys still with us here. I had a blast of a time. We got Crazy Challengers, Dallas Taylor, Sebastian Hensel now. Herr Logi was in the house. Witt von Witt. You gave us everything.
Apply some pressure.
It was a super hot day in Berlin. I had a blast of a time. Like always. Actually, and man, doing this every 2 weeks is also kind of insane. It feels so, the time that in between feels so long. It's crazy. But I just keep it like that. However, please remember, all my patrons, all you OTHMAniacs, we do this exclusively next Tuesday. It's the 7th of July, same time, and you get the link, and you can watch this then on YouTube. Doesn't really matter to me, via Patreon, right? And I'm gonna send you a reminder via Patreon then, and also a reminder via Discord. And then we do this, you know. And then if you want to tune in, you know, just get ready, like with the little camera setting there. You don't need to have a super equipment or something, and you don't have to show your face if you don't want to, you know, just your card table and stuff. And then we're gonna be it's just gonna be us, and you guys gonna you can ask me anything, or ask, you know, we can talk about anything that's just important. Just having a fun time together. That's the idea, basically. And maybe, who knows? Maybe this is super secret stuff. Maybe we go super in detail because everybody is interested in a certain topic. Like we can talk about what you want to this channel to develop. Like I'm just really curious about this also, and then maybe we publish this one day if you would be okay with it. If not, we just keep it unlisted on YouTube. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm really looking forward doing this, and once again, thank you all so much for your support on Patreon. This really means a lot to me. It's really freaking amazing. Dallas Taylor writes, really been enjoying practicing lately. Feel like I've been improving. Yeah, you should improve when you practice. Yeah. This is what happens when you practice, mate. Witt von Witt, yes, enjoy the flashing out of the trick in real time. Flashing out of the trick in real time? I don't get it. What do you mean, man? Dallas Taylor says, yes, poor gold as always. Amazing. I had the time that I had a feeling that I was not too focused today, but sometimes, you know, when I'm checking in on my streams later on, I'm surprised, like, because when you do, you know, this is like, I'm trying to figure out what this tricks, because multitasking, I'm getting older also every day, also streaming, keeping this all intact. And sometimes I feel so confused doing this. You know, also you are speaking on a personal level to people that are just somewhere out there in the world, and what you're actually addressing is a bunch of, you know, blinking lights. That's the life of a streamer. At least the show is still up and running. Did you hear about that latest YouTube drama? Oh no, it's Twitch drama. Dr. Disrespect got banned on Twitch, and everybody goes, what is going on, man? Working out the trick in real time. I get it. Thank you so much, Dallas Taylor, for helping me out there. Flashing out the trick in real time. Yeah, I get it now. Yeah, I mean, it's like, this is really... This is the hardest part, like really to get it down, to get it understanding. And I will probably next year, I want to do this because this trick has been on my list, and I will do this trick. It's a 3-coin matrix with it plays a little bit. It's like adds up. It adds wonderfully, fits wonderful to the 3-cut Monty. It's in Bobo's Modern Coin Magic. And when I first discovered it, it's just like the Danbury delusion. We're going to talk also on this channel in depth. It was like, I want this trick. I need to master this. And then you have coins and I'm not with cards. And it was like, oh my God, oh my God. Coming up very soon is a trick that I've been working on for a long time. It's more a choreography of some slides in order to perform a little with a nice idea, with a nice pattern, with a story to it. And then I've been working on Stranger's Gallery by John Bannon for the longest time now, and I just want to shoot the performance of Stranger's Gallery by John Bannon. And then I have a very, very nice, very fast-paced sandwich version, basically putting some pieces of Aaron Fisher together. And this is stuff I've been working on for the longest time, and I'm planning to shoot this as performances, and I've never got there because it's really difficult. So you can expect much, but maybe the time, the frequency of uploads is not going to be so steady and high as it used to be, guys. It's summertime, it's freaking hot, and there's a lot of you know what's going on in the world, you know. So, but be sure, every 2 weeks we're gonna do this. Next week we're gonna do the Patreon exclusive, and there are still some tutorials in the open on the table work series, right? And when I should be done with all the tutorials that I wanted to upload for the moment, and then we are going into card tricks, and I'm going to analyze with you guys together just the best tricks. And it's not just going to be revealing one card trick after another, you know, the best, all this, you know. We're gonna really look at the tricks to understand the art form, the craft of the build of card magic better. And I'm excited doing this because I'm super invested in that. And now you are too. Now you know the drill. You practice, and you practice well, and it will come to you. And in the meantime, you rest assured, more magical stuff is going to be uploaded very soon. You are rocking awesome, and I'm super hyped meeting you soon here on this very channel, OTHMARiUS Magic.
Apply some pressure.
OTHMARiUS Magic. Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Roger and out.